Hey, welcome back, guys, to another rendition of To Hell with KDR. This is a talk show kind of ish commentary series where I just talk about random crap that I want to talk about. And the first episode was on Mother's Day, so that was a rather good start to this series. And now this time in this episode, we're going to be talking about graduation because although this topic is actually about a week and a half old as of my graduation anyway. I always wanted I really wanted to get around to talking about this, but I really didn't have a chance until now, and even then I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish adequately, but we'll see. But anyways, today's topic for today is going to be about graduation. So if you guys did not know, I recently graduated from high school, class of 2012, woohoo, go, and last 2 Thursdays ago. So yeah, I am just fresh out of college fresh out of high school, and we'll be going to college. If you guys are wondering which university, I will be attending University of Pacific with a major in pre-dental. So if that gives you a rough idea of how Asian I am, just kidding. So, really, the only way to understand how I feel about like the whole graduation aspect thing, because here's the thing. I remember my middle school graduation very vividly. Like the elementary school graduation doesn't count because it's like, well, you're gonna see each other anyway in like middle school, so what's the point of like crying over that? But I remember back in middle school when I graduated from middle school, I attended my middle school graduation dance exclusively for eighth graders and the graduated eighth graders. And at the end of the dance, I remember seeing everyone gathering outside our MPR, which stands for multi-purpose room. It was basically our dance hall thing, and everyone was just crying their balls off, and I kind of didn't understand. Like, I mean, back then, like, yeah, you have to realize back then, cause kids go through puberty in middle school and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, people are gonna be you're bound to expect people to be emotional during those times, and that's what happened. People just crying their asses off, and yeah, and I personally was like, yeah, it's sad and all, but I didn't really care, for lack of a better term. Like, I mean, I gave a couple of people hugs when, like the people who I really liked and as friends. So I went around and gave them hugs, but I didn't actually cry myself. I didn't think that crying because you're graduating. So who the hell cares? You're graduating. You're going on to high school. What's the point of crying? But what I didn't realize back then is because friends. Some of those friends aren't gonna see each other again. Especially because in town where I live, our middle schools are basically our middle school graduates from my school district need to choose between two high schools most of the time anyway if they're not going elsewhere. Either the school that I've attended, which is Palos Verdes Peninsula High School, or our rival high school, our drug-filled fucking cheating rival high school that we don't really acknowledge at all most of the time, PV High School. So from my middle school, the vast majority of kids went to Palos Verdes Peninsula High School. That's where I went to for all 4 years and graduated from. Some a very small percentage went over to where is it, PV High, because our middle school, and the thing about our middle school and high school is that the one thing they have in common is that all the Asians, or at least the vast majority of Asians who live in our school district, attend that middle school and high school. Like people, substitutes often have a joke, like the substitute teachers who work throughout the district and go to school to wherever they're needed. Like I remember having quite a few substitutes who always comment on the fact that my high school and/or middle school has all the Asians, so they go to other schools. They tell us that they go substitute in other schools. They'd be like, they wonder, like, especially if they're Asian themselves, like they wonder where all the Asians are at, and they come to Palos Verdes, or they would come to Peninsula High School, or my middle school, which is called Ridgecrest Middle School, and be like, oh yeah, this is where all the Asians are at. So yeah, that's kind of a fun thing. But anyways, I'm going off a little tangent here, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed that little tangent. But anyways, so I didn't realize that, stuck in my own little dream world of depression and whatnot, because I was kind of a pseudo-depression. I was kind of suffering from depression, but it was just myself, and I got over it. But once I got into high school, it's like, what am I being all emo for? I'm just, like, ditched it. So, yeah, I just didn't realize that, friends, they're kind of a big deal. But to this day, I still don't have many friends, and the few friends I do have, I choose very carefully, and I choose very with a wary eye, because they have to be people I can trust with, like, with my life pretty much. One of those people is protagonist, who you've seen very, very many times on my channel through real life videos, or through videos playing with me in Combat Arms. He's one of those people. I only have a few other people who I can really call them. In fact, he might just be the only one at the moment, but I'm pretty sure as I grow up later on in life, I'll find a few more people like that I can call, with the same attitude. But yeah, during just the point is that middle school graduation, I just really didn't care. So I was really, really apathetic and kind of shut in my own world, so to speak. Because long story short, I was kind of under my own spell of depression then. Which now that I look back on it, I was like, really, what's the price over that? So yeah, that kind of ties into my high school graduation, because for my high school graduation, I did not participate in many senior graduation activities at all. Like the Sunday before my graduation, we had this ceremony called the baccalaureate. I think that's how it's pronounced. Basically, where everyone gets in their graduation gowns and they just stroll around campus for a final time with their friends or something like that, in like a non-school day. And I didn't go there. First of all, because I forgot. Second of all, because I didn't really care. So like I came out on school on Monday. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, yesterday was baccalaureate. Who the fuck cares? So, and after our graduation ceremony, we had people could sign up to go to a special grad night where basically the graduating seniors are taken to like a secret location and can basically party all freaking night long. And I didn't really see the point of that, so I just was like, whatever. I have no friends. It's not like I'm gonna go there anyway. So why do I need to go there? So I ended up not going. It was like $100 anyway. I was like, I'm not gonna pay $100 for that. So it's just now it's not so much as I don't care. It's just that I don't see the point in going anymore. First of all, because of the reason I just stated, is because of the fact that I still don't have many friends, even as a graduating senior. And me personally, I know that's not a very good thing. You need to have at least more friends than I do. Because to be honest, to be blunt, throughout my entire educational life, I've been more or less so a lonesome, forever alone Asian kid, that typical nerdy Asian guy who sits in the back of the corner with his laptop out in class and during class time. No, I don't really do that, but people call that me anyway. And except one thing is that I can run, and I'm actually pretty physically talented. Not trying to brag here, but I did run cross country for 3 years. So people are kind of surprised when they realize that, well, this kid can actually do some stuff physically, not just do calculus all day. But I suck at calculus too, don't worry. So yeah, that's the thing that I wanted to point out, is that I'm just not very social. Most of you probably already realize that I'm not a very I'm not a social person. You've all seen my my comment wars against people and haters and trolls and fuckers like that, who I kind of find their comments irritating at times, either depending on my mood, or I'm just thinking like, wow, that comment was really fucking unnecessary. So yeah, most of you already know by now that I'm a pretty bitter person. I acknowledge that. I'm a really bitter person. I'm a supremely sarcastic person, in turn because I don't really have many friends and whatnot. So for those of you guys who want to call me a fucking loner, go ahead and do so, because I'm not denying that by any means. Oh, I just tapped my lamp right there. I'm not denying that by any means, because I don't deny the truth. So there you have it. Truth hurts. It's gonna hit people someday. Just like how I treat some of you. Like when people say, "Oh, I have a permanent lesion, or like a 90-day lesion. Why are you using Elim?" I just tell them, "Oh, because first of all, I'm a badass for using it in lesion elimination instead of cabin fever, shit like that. And also, second of all, I don't fucking care that you have it for 90 days. Good for you. Now get out." So yeah, and graduation. What I did after graduation, instead of going to grad night, I actually spent the night with my friend Protagonist, and another friend of ours, who ironically enough is a teacher at at another high school. We don't. I'm not too sure the relationship between Protagonist and that guy, but we're all good friends anyway. Protagonist and him being a little bit better friends than between us. So yeah, we just spent the night with my friend Protagonist and his family eating Korean barbecue out down in Torrance. So fun times, fun times. So that just kind of shows you how I really think about graduation. But at the same time, even for all my apatheticness, if that's even a word, even for all the times I say, yeah, I don't give a fuck about graduation, I at least realize that it's a significant time for people. I mean, it's your high school graduation. There's not many other events in your life, at least in contemporary society like this, that a single event would be more important than that. So, me personally, I don't really feel the true impact, but I do realize that it is there for many people. And I mean, me personally, I was really looking forward to that one moment where you just throw all your caps in the air. That was I've been dreaming of doing that ever since middle school. So I was finally able to do it. And then as I was walking out, a stray cap hits me square in the forehead. I'm like, fuck. So that wasn't fun. Nonetheless, it's still a time to be merry and stuff like that, and I realize that, and that's why I managed to convince my parents, like, I'm gonna go eat dinner with my friend, because I think hanging out with my friend is more important and more valuable than hanging out with my family. And yes, that is what I said. And I know. Might sound cruel to my family, but to be honest, my older brother was there, and he actually flew down to watch me graduate, which I really didn't want him to do, because I'm not very fond of my brother at all. We'll talk about family in another To Hell with KDR episode, and you will know exactly what my honest opinions about them are. So, obviously, I'm not doing these commentaries in front of my family, if you guys get the point already. So, yeah, graduation. I really don't have anything else to say about like my own thoughts on graduation. From here on now, I can only tell you guys what I feel, what others believe about graduation. And graduation, I already mentioned before. I already mentioned just now that graduation is just a time to be married, to celebrate the fact that you've gone through 4 years of high school. And trust me, in my high school, yeah, some people over there do indeed deserve to graduate with all the honors in the whole wide freaking world. That's just how they are. And me personally, I was these days it's not so much for me as like a celebratory mood. It's just nothing but relief that yes, everything is finally done and over. All the troubles of high school, all the worries that I've had there, all the pains that I've had, all the stupid troublesome shit, all the bullshit I have to deal with in high school, those are all finally done and fucking over. Thank God, hallelujah. So to me, it's nothing but relief that everything is now over, done, don't have to worry about it anymore. Other people still have the energy to go out and hop around and celebrate. They're like, yeah, we've graduated, yeah. I'm not one of those people. I used to be back in elementary school, back in when I was younger, when I actually did have like spare bucket loads of fucking spare energy, but not anymore. It's just that life kind of wore me down through middle school and high school and never really recovered from that. And maybe that's another discussion for another day, but not today. But just know that as I've been growing up, I've felt things that kind of wore down my sanity a little bit. And now to this day, I still think that I'm only just one little cut away from pure insanity. So, yeah, just a word of thought for you guys. If you do want to try to piss me off, just realize that I might actually go off on you entirely, because that might have broken that last floodgate to my entire freaking reservoir of insanity just breaking forth like God Almighty. But it's okay. That's gonna happen to you someday if you're a fucking troll. But yeah, you'll enjoy it for another day. So yeah. Relief. That's all I can really say about graduation. And especially for my high school, I didn't really feel. I mean, our high school wasn't necessarily like the most spirited to begin with, because honestly, our high school is like the most academic-minded fucking school in the entire South Bay, and with the exception of other high schools as well, to be honest. But I mean, for who we are, we're pretty academically minded. Like so much so that people aren't even made fun of by being a nerd in our school. In fact, being a nerd is highly encouraged because everyone fucking loves you for it, and they want to just mooch off you in order to do your homework. It's like, hey, what's the answer to this problem? Hey, what's the answer to this problem? So, where I'm trying to go with that is that we weren't necessarily the most spirited. Our rival high school, PV High, is a lot more spirited than us, mainly because they do a lot of, they smoke weed every fucking day, but that's their problem, not ours. And because of that, I didn't really feel like any sense of loyalty, for lack of a better term, to my high school, nor did I really feel all that entitled to my other high schools. Like, I mean, I did return to my elementary school that I haven't been to, that I hadn't stepped foot on in like 7 years, and I had visited again back in like March or April for a high school yearbook kind of a photo picture, just to like celebrate our 2012 Vista Grande Vista Grande graduates for graduating from high school after like 7 years. So we kind of gathered there, for a few of us from our graduating class from Vista Grande, which is the name of my elementary school, and we just gathered there. And when I went there, the first time I went there, I actually didn't know that it got canceled because they thought it might rain. But it ended up not raining. I was just like waiting there, like, so where is everybody? So. But when I was there, I was like, I couldn't help but feel like a sense of nostalgia that this is where I graduated from. This is elementary school. It's not something I can just say, yeah, whatever, this is elementary school, forget it. I'm done with it. So, yeah, I mean, even though I say I don't care about like graduation and shit like that, when I go back to those places where I've spent like a good chunk of my life at, I can't help but to think like, let's take a few moments and think back on what little memories from elementary school I still have. And in fact, just last week, I was walking along down in Torrance, for you guys who know where that Torrance area is at, and I was like walking to Hickory Park, if you guys know where that is, and basically. The Vista Grande Elementary School I mentioned before wasn't the only elementary school that I had attended. I originally lived in Torrance, Southern California, for a little bit after moving here from wherever I came from, and you guys can guess at that where I came from, but. I came here from overseas. I'm not American born, and I first lived in Torrance, and then in the middle of second grade, I actually moved up to Palos Verdes, and I then attended Vista Grande Elementary School. That's where I went there. So, and last week, basically, I walked to the park next to my old elementary school, because my old elementary school, which is called Hickory Elementary School, has a park like literally right outside it. So that was pretty cool. And I was walking along one day, and I stumbled upon that same school, or that same park, and I walked up to the fence because the school was closed. It was I think it was like late evening or early evening then. So I was like, this is Hickory Elementary School. Good times. Elementary school, no worries at all. And yeah, I haven't been to my middle school yet. I better visit it once more before I go off to college. But it's one of those moments where you just step onto a place where you've been for a very long time, and it's not something you can just overlook very easily. Even I can't overlook it as easily as I would like to. I mean. Feeling those memories, feeling that kind of sense of nostalgia, like the good old days that I was here, really kind of, pains me, because it reminds me of what, not only the memories that I've made there, or the few good memories that still linger in my head for whatever reason that they're still there, but also they also represent like what I could have done, how differently I could have turned out. Maybe if I hadn't done this, if I hadn't done that, maybe I would have turned out a little bit differently, for worse or for better. And I can't help but, because my mind is just kind of wacky like that, it tends to imagine things. My brain kind of imagine things like that. Really, I don't really intend for it to imagine, and it's almost as if my brain has a mind of its own. brainception. But that's really all I can. That's the best I can describe it. It just gives me these visions or like these things, these imaginative worlds where I can look at that. I look at whether or not I want to. It's not like I even have a choice, and I'm just like, yeah, that's how it could have turned out, but I didn't. So what can I do? It just tugs at my chest a little bit, just to think about what could have happened, Not only that, but obviously what has happened here. Not some good, others bad, more so bad than good, but that's another story for another day. And yeah, that's basically what I think about friggin' graduation in a nutshell. It's painful, but I mean, in the end, we have to move on, cause nothing really lasts forever. No good thing lasts forever. Just like my fucking Legion minigun, that's only there for 7 days. That's not gonna last forever. So that's why I'm using it as much as I can before it expires. And I doubt I'll ever hold it again in my arm, in my hands and combat arms. But that's how it's gonna be, I suppose. I mean, I did have to let go of my Azazel. I never wanted to let go of that. I tried to renew it, but they for some reason wouldn't let me renew it. So I was like, well, I suppose I can't keep that Azazel. So I suppose I'll just say bye to it. Play with it as much as I can, and in the end, when it's time for it to go, just say bye to it, and it's gonna be gone. There's not really much you can do about it, and crying your balls off about it is not going to help you get it back. So yeah, I suppose that might be the reason why I didn't understand why people were crying in my 8th grade graduation. I'm pretty sure that's the same thing that happened in my high school grad night, which I didn't go to because I felt it was pointless. So yeah, I mean, I understand that most people will have to realize that, time will eventually move on, and it's not like you can do anything to turn it back. There was a really good quote in our last edition in our school newspaper that said, "I'm going to live forever, or I'll die trying." So that just kind of reminded me of the fact that people do realize that time is always going to turn, no matter how we look at it. So it's not like we can, hope for the good old days back, just like in Combat Arms, where they didn't add like specs and bullshit like that. Specs are here to stay. We have to kind of force ourselves to realize that and just deal with it. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on graduation. And once again, I will be going off to University of Pacific for some pre-dental. So, yeah, I really look forward to going off to high school or to college there. And another thing that I've also done is because enroll in a chemistry class in my local community college, El Community College, for you guys who do not know or know where that community college is. I'm attending El now for a little chemistry class, and that chem class is fucking brutal. 5 hours straight in the afternoon, fucking A. So because of that, I'm actually not going to be on Combat Arms for the next 6 weeks, as much as I would like to. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I actually don't know when this episode will come up because I actually don't have the gameplay for you guys at this moment in time. But hopefully that's gonna be there for you guys to enjoy. And yeah, if you guys have any one of your thoughts on, like, graduation and stuff, any topic that I talk about for that matter, go ahead and leave it. I'm always interested in reading what you guys have to say in terms of what I have to say as well. So I mean, it's not this, although it feels like a one-man show here, it's not necessarily the case. At least not really too much. I mean, this is YouTube. You can say whatever the hell you want. It's just a matter of whether you're gonna get hated for it or not. So yeah, this has been my 2 thoughts on graduation. And I am now a proud 2012 grad, so I'm pretty sure there's a few other things I want to say, I want to add afterwards, but I can't really remember at the moment. This is why you need to write stuff down before you talk about them, Asian. So yeah, this will conclude this episode of To Hell with KDR, episode number 2, talking about graduation. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I have no idea how long this commentary has been going on. Nearly 25 minutes now. Oh shit. So anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys later in whichever episode To Hell with KDR comes out. So anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching and joining us on this rendition of To Hell with KDR. My name is Asian Psycho, aka Total Sniper 98, and I will see you guys guys later. You could.